Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another PGR reaction. Today we have the song Two Flowers. This was recommended by ZFF Railgun or Ziff Railgun. I'm not sure which, but I'm just going to go with both. Apparently this is a lesser known song, which I don't know if I would refer to it as less known since it has 1 million views, but maybe that's just a difference of like scalability. I think that this is a pretty well-known song with that many views, but I digress. Either way, this one had the most likes on the last video, so here we are, and let's go. You know, given that it's on a Japanese channel, I probably should have expected Japanese. I did not. Now I feel stupid. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, great rhythm. This is getting me excited to hear where this song's gonna evolve to. Right out the gate with a really infectious energy. Ooh, love that guitar part. All right. They kind of kept it mellow. I wasn't sure if they were going to open up wider or not, but it did open up a bit. Just not quite as much as I was anticipating it. It still might, though. I'm loving that kick. It really just punches through the mix. All right. A little bit of a bridge. We've got a pivotal moment coming. I'm loving everything about this, frankly. Oh, man. The patterns, the mixing. I'm doing air guitar down here, like I'm chilling. I'm chilling with this song. I absolutely fuck with this. I realized till just now how wide those toms were. Those are really wide toms. Now are they going to expand the chorus a little bit more, or are they going to go back to what they've been doing and just make it another refrain? All right, about the same. Good intro on the snare drum there, letting the drums introduce it. Woo. Good vocal run there. Part of me feels like I recognize this voice, but I'm not entirely sure from where or why I would. Maybe she just sounds similar to someone else? I'm gonna have to look up who sang it. Dude, I love that. Oh man, everything about it, like I've been saying. That That plays to a lot of what I love about pop rock in Japan. All right, so I did recognize the voice. This is Yui Ishikawa. She is an amazing voice actress. I've watched a bunch of stuff that she's in. Like, she was Mikasa in Attack on Titan. She was Elise in Dr. Elise recently. She was Sei in The Saint's Power is Omnipotent. She's been in a bunch of stuff recently, and that's why I recognize her voice, because I keep hearing it. Every season there's a show with her in it. So now that makes sense why she sounded so familiar, but I could not quite place it. It's because I've only heard her sing once or twice in those various projects, but it's enough exposure over time that I've heard her voice, and it's probably been like subconsciously drilled into my head. And as for the composition on this one, I wanted to make this a little bit more contextually sensitive, so I actually found a website that allows you to like contextualize chords in a group. So I found all the chords that this song has, and I'm going to click through them so you can hear it. It's called J Guitar for anyone who's wondering what the website is, but basically you just put in a chord and it allows you to just hear those both arpeggiated and standard chords. I'm by no means, of course, sponsored or anything. This is just a legitimately cool tool that I'm going to utilize so you can hear this better. Instead of just using a piano like I always do, I feel like it'll just sit better in the ear since this is a very rock song. So this song uses a bunch of very fun, to me, like chord progression concepts. Basically, it goes from C to A minor to E for the chorus specifically. That's always what I usually use when I talk about these, just because it's the easiest to ground to and like explain in a general sense what the song is doing musically. But basically this goes C, A minor, E minor, which is really just a beautiful subtle transition, especially between C and A minor. They really don't change too much. Very minor change, no pun intended, and then it just goes to E minor. So you're sitting there with all of that, and it's just like, okay, so like that's the first, like, so that's just the first three of the chorus, and then it actually goes through a change. It kind of bridges itself back to the C by going D and then B minor back to C. So you get this really nice round of, and that just sounds so tight. Like having just those quick changes between the two, it's about as quick as I put it in there. Just like maybe one strum each. It's just, oh, it's such a good, like going from the minor back to the major on this just sounds so full. And then, because it immediately follows it up with continuing this line of what we had already heard. So it brings you back up to this high, very positive energy while utilizing these like more like stinging transitional things with the minor, and it just makes everything feel that same bittersweetness that I always talk about when I talk about these songs, because a lot of them have that emotional goal. They're trying to make you feel for the character, and bittersweet is the thing to do with a character song when that's your goal. You want somebody to feel sad or at least relate to a character. You want that empathetic reaction from the listener. Use these sorts of transitions, bring them back up, make them feel positive, but never forget the struggle between. I think that's the coolest way to like contextualize this as a sound, is like you want things to start on a good note, but never forget that the transition back to what was good, what felt major, what was very proud, happy, and full of energy, full of life, is both followed and predicated by all of this minor dissonance that's kind of crunching itself between. The D to B minor to C, especially because you're bringing it back up after taking it down to the E minor in that first chunk, and then bridging it starting with another bright full chord that doesn't have any crunch to it at all. There's no dissonance in a D major, and then immediately creating that by bringing it down a little bit with the B minor to bring it back up again to the C major. It's just a journey kind of sound. This sort of concept where, like I've said before, you want the listener to feel like there is a journey happening and there is emotional stakes at hand, and you need them to understand that as quickly as possible. And this is a great way to do it. This is an amazing chord progression, by the way. Just in general, beautiful. Absolutely brilliant when it comes down to especially that transitional bridge. just locks itself in so damn tightly. It just makes you want to hear more, really. This first passage just being so kind of subtle, but it does bring you down there with that E minor. And for the record, I'm pretty sure that this key is also an E minor, so rooting it at the base of that motion as E minor totally tracks. It's basically just inverting what you would do in a standard way, where like a lot of things would be rooted in that E minor. This instead roots it at the base. Instead of starting there, you kind of end there, and then it transitions back. Those two chords of D and B minor are legitimately just one strum transitions. There's not a lot of time spent with them, so you don't feel them as much. It's just the whole song kind of utilizing that in order to get you back to the C without feeling too jarring. This is a really cool composition, and I legitimately want to see more people write in this same like chord progression. Sounds so sick. I love this. I also just love the vibe of the guitars on this song. Just the like it has so much body to it, has so much weight to it, which all of course tracks back to the needing the listener to feel that emotional journey. It's just all so good, dude. And that emotional journey I've been raving about totally makes sense with the lyrics here. I do understand some Japanese for anybody who's wondering what the hell I'm doing talking about Japanese lyrics here, and I did catch some of these, specifically the parts after the I pray and the if I were you. For some reason, when it's surrounded by English, that helps me contextualize the Japanese a little bit better. But basically they were saying, I pray that there's somebody out there who you wish to protect, is kind of what I'm getting there. So there's this essence of they hope, the singer hopes that whoever they're singing to or about has somebody they're willing to fight for, maybe to the end. Having that sort of relationship with somebody, or maybe there is somebody that they're aware of that they're trying to be able to like snap out of it. You have somebody that you need to protect. Stop being crazy. There could be either one of those. It's either somebody pleading with another character to snap them out of it, or it's somebody trying to plead with them like, do you understand what this feels like to be in my situation? And then if I were you, immediately following that, then there's the section in between that of like, it's either tell me what you've lost or what have you lost, based as a question. So it's like asking the person that they're singing to, what caused you to act the way you're acting? At least that's how I'm interpreting this. And of course, there's other lyrical stuff in here I picked up around the so strange part. She says something about either a smoky or like a dark grayed world. And that's just like, it makes sense. It's strange how dark the world is, how hazy reality may be for the character in this moment, trying to understand the situation of the character she's singing to and what situation they're in. How do they go forward from where they are? There's a bunch of stuff going on with this character, and I can tell that there's a lot of weight on a lot of these lyrics, and I wish I could understand them more, but I'm not going to trust Google Translate to tell me them because it's usually pretty inaccurate. So, I don't want to try doing that, so I'm just contextualizing what I have based on my own translation ability. Either way, just based off that, I can tell that this song is about somebody pleading in some way, shape, or form to either understand or have them understand the singer and be like, do you get where I'm coming from? I can't understand where you are mentally right now. And there's a lot of weight to that. That makes me think that these characters have a huge history, that they're either related or they were trained together, something like that, like almost sisters maybe. Some developmental issues happening there. Kind of maybe like Naruto Sasuke level, where like one kind of became evil for a minute, but it's okay because Naruto's there to make you good again. You just gotta punch it into you a little bit. Something along those lines is kind of what I'm gathering just from the small bit of lyrics I could figure out myself. But yeah, I think that's about all I had to talk about. I know I got really nerdy with this one compared to some other videos I've done, but man, this was a really good song. I am definitely adding this to one of my like just chill playlists when it comes to like, I want something rocky. I don't have something that's just like I can play in the background. I've got a whole playlist of like really, really good rock songs that are just perfect to set in the background when you're in that like mindset of needing to lock into something and just really just grind hard. There's a grind, I basically have a grind set playlist, and a lot of rock is in that playlist, and I'm definitely adding this one to it because it fits so well in that mental state for me. I love this one a lot. Thank you for so much for requesting this one. I am going to listen to this so many more times. I love this vibe. But enough yapping. If you enjoyed this video and you want to request something else, by all means leave it down below and I will do my best as always to get to it. And if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!